She might smile at you, text you back, and even spend time with you, but how do you really know if a woman genuinely cares about you or if she's just playing a game? The truth is, most men overlook the subtle signs, and by the time they realize, they're already emotionally invested in something that was never real. Don't let that happen to you. In this video, we'll break down exactly how to spot the difference between genuine care and manipulative behavior, so you never have to question her intentions again. When it comes to understanding whether a woman truly cares about you or is just playing a game, the first step is recognizing the stark difference between genuine care and manipulation. It's easy to confuse the two, especially when emotions are involved, but the reality is that they stem from entirely different places. Genuine care comes from a place of connection, empathy, and emotional investment. On the other hand, manipulation is often rooted in personal gain, control, or a need for validation. The tricky part is that both can look similar on the surface, making it critical to understand what lies beneath her actions. Women who genuinely care about you tend to prioritize your well-being. They don't just listen to you, they actually hear you. When you're going through something tough, they're present, not just physically, but emotionally. They'll check in on you, offer support, and make an effort to ease your burden. This care isn't always flashy or dramatic. Often it's in the little things. She might remember something important you mentioned in passing or go out of her way to help you, even when there's nothing in it for her. Genuine care is about consistency. It's not something that appears only when it's convenient for her. Manipulation, on the other hand, often feels like a performance. A woman who's playing you might act like she cares deeply about you when it suits her, but her behavior tends to be inconsistent. She might shower you with attention one day, only to pull away the next. This push and pull dynamic is a classic sign of someone who's more interested in maintaining control than building a real connection. Manipulative behavior often stems from a need to feel desired or powerful, and unfortunately, many men mistake this for genuine interest. The truth is, when someone truly cares about you, they don't play with your emotions, they nurture them. Another key distinction lies in how she handles conflict. A woman who genuinely cares about you will approach disagreements with a willingness to resolve them. She won't hold grudges or use arguments as an opportunity to gain the upper hand. Instead, she'll prioritize communication and try to understand your perspective. In contrast, a manipulative woman might use conflict as a weapon. She could guilt trip you, play the victim, or escalate the situation to make you feel at fault. This type of behavior creates confusion and keeps you guessing about her true feelings, a hallmark of emotional manipulation. It's also important to consider her motivations. Women who are emotionally invested in you don't see you as a tool to meet their own needs. They care about your happiness, your growth, and your well-being because they value you as a person. Manipulative women, however, are often driven by their own desires. They might seek attention, validation, or even material gain without giving much thought to what you need or want. This doesn't always mean they're malicious. Sometimes they're just not emotionally mature enough to form a real connection. Either way, the result is the same. You're left feeling unfulfilled and unsure of where you stand. Understanding the difference between genuine care and manipulation is essential because it sets the foundation for how you approach the relationship. Once you can recognize these patterns, you'll be better equipped to navigate the situation and protect yourself from getting hurt. It's not about being overly skeptical or assuming the worst. It's about being mindful of her actions and how they align with her words. Genuine care is consistent, empathetic, and selfless. Manipulation, on the other hand, is unpredictable, self-serving, and often leaves you feeling drained. Learning to spot these differences early on will save you time, energy, and emotional pain. When trying to figure out if a woman truly cares about you or is just playing you, the best place to look is her actions. Words can be deceiving, but actions rarely lie. People often say what they think you want to hear, but their behavior reveals their true intentions. A woman who genuinely cares about you will back up her words with consistent, meaningful actions. On the flip side, someone playing you will often show signs of inconsistency. Her words and actions simply won't match up. For instance, consider how she spends her time and energy. Does she go out of her way to include you in her life? A woman who cares about you will make an effort to involve you, whether that's introducing you to her friends, inviting you to events, or simply making time for you despite her busy schedule. Her presence will feel reliable and steady, not sporadic or forced. You'll notice that she follows through on her promises and doesn't leave you wondering where you stand. However, if she's playing you, her actions will feel inconsistent or even calculated. She might say things like, "I really care about you," but when you need her the most, she's nowhere to be found. Maybe she cancels plans at the last minute or makes excuses for why she can't meet up. It's these subtle patterns of behavior that often reveal her true intentions. A woman who truly cares about you doesn't make you question whether you're a priority in her life. You simply know it through her actions. Another key indicator is how she supports you when you're facing challenges. Life isn't always easy, and how someone responds during your low points speaks volumes about their character. A woman who cares about you will stand by your side during tough times. She'll offer emotional support, encourage you, and show a genuine interest in helping you overcome obstacles. This doesn't mean she'll solve all your problems for you. No one can do that. But she'll make you feel like you're not alone in facing them. In contrast, a woman who's just playing you might disappear when things get hard. She may avoid uncomfortable conversations or make it clear, whether directly or indirectly, that your struggles are an inconvenience to her. Sometimes, this might show up in subtle ways, like changing the subject when you try to open up or brushing off your concerns. Other times, it's more blatant, like pulling away entirely when you're going through something. Either way, it shows a lack of emotional investment. Pay attention to how she handles the little things too. Genuine care often shows up in the details. Does she remember the small things you tell her? Does she notice when you're having an off day and check in with you? These may seem minor, but they're powerful indicators of her emotional involvement. A woman who cares about you will remember what's important to you, even if it's something as simple as your favorite meal or a story you shared weeks ago. On the other hand, if she consistently forgets or seems indifferent, it could be a sign that her focus lies elsewhere. Her behavior in public versus private settings is another crucial factor to observe. A woman who cares about you will treat you with respect and kindness, regardless of who's watching. Her affection won't be performative. It'll be consistent and authentic. If she's only affectionate or attentive when others are around, it might be an act to maintain appearances rather than a reflection of genuine care. True care isn't about putting on a show. It's about building a connection that feels real and sincere, whether you're alone or surrounded by others. Lastly, take note of how she invests in your growth. A woman who cares about you wants to see you thrive, not just in the relationship, but in every aspect of your life. She'll celebrate your successes, encourage your goals, and push you to be the best version of yourself. In contrast, someone who's playing you might be more focused on what you can do for her rather than how she can contribute to your growth. This kind of dynamic can feel one-sided, leaving you questioning whether she's truly invested in you as a person. When you focus on her actions rather than her words, you'll gain a clearer understanding of her true feelings. Consistent, meaningful behavior is the hallmark of genuine care, while inconsistency and self-serving actions often indicate manipulation. Another critical factor in determining whether a woman truly cares about you or is just playing you lies in her emotional availability and willingness to be vulnerable. Genuine connections are built on emotional intimacy, and a woman who values you won't hesitate to open up and let you into her inner world. On the flip side, if she's emotionally distant or superficial in your interactions, it could be a sign that her feelings aren't as deep as they seem. When a woman truly cares about you, she'll show a willingness to share her thoughts, feelings, and experiences with you. She won't just skim the surface by talking about her day or making small talk. She'll let you see the parts of her that she doesn't share with just anyone. This includes her fears, dreams, insecurities, and even her past. Vulnerability is a sign of trust, and when she's comfortable being vulnerable with you, it's a strong indicator that she values the relationship on a deeper level. On the contrary, if she's just playing you, she might keep things shallow and avoid meaningful conversations. She'll deflect when topics get too personal or steer the conversation back to you without revealing much about herself. While it's normal for people to take time to open up, someone who's truly interested in you will show gradual progress in building that emotional bridge. If she consistently keeps her guard up and only engages on a surface level, it could be because she's not emotionally invested in the relationship. Pay attention to how she responds when you try to share your emotions. A woman who cares about you will create a safe space for you to express yourself. She'll listen attentively, validate your feelings, and make you feel heard and understood. Even if she doesn't always have the perfect solution, her willingness to be present during your emotional moments is what counts. It shows that she values the connection and wants to deepen the bond between you. However, if she's playing you, her response to your emotional openness might feel dismissive or insincere. She might change the subject, give vague or generic advice, or even make you feel like your emotions are a burden. This lack of emotional reciprocity is a red flag. Relationships require mutual emotional investment, and if you're the only one opening up, it creates an imbalance that can leave you feeling unsupported and undervalued. Another sign of genuine care is how she handles conflict or difficult conversations. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship, but the way they're resolved speaks volumes about the level of care and respect in the dynamic. A woman who truly cares about you will approach conflicts with a mindset of finding solutions, not placing blame. She'll be willing to listen to your perspective, take accountability for her actions when necessary, and work together to strengthen the relationship. Her goal won't be to win the argument, but to ensure that both of you feel understood and valued. In contrast, if she's playing you, she might avoid conflict altogether or escalate it unnecessarily. She might use manipulative tactics like gaslighting or guilt tripping to shift the focus away from her own behavior. Instead of addressing issues head-on, she might brush them off or act like they're not important. This lack of accountability can create a toxic dynamic where your concerns are never truly acknowledged or resolved. A woman who cares about you will also show empathy and emotional consistency. She'll make an effort to understand your feelings and will adapt her behavior to make you feel more comfortable and secure in the relationship. For example, if something she does bothers you, she'll listen and take steps to address it. Not because she has to, but because she values your happiness and well-being. Emotional consistency is key here. It's not about grand gestures, but about showing up for you in small, meaningful ways over time. On the other hand, someone who's playing you might exhibit emotional inconsistency. One day, she might seem deeply interested in your feelings and concerns, and the next, she might act indifferent or aloof. This kind of hot and cold behavior is a hallmark of someone who isn't fully invested in the relationship. It can leave you feeling confused and emotionally drained, constantly wondering where you stand. Ultimately, emotional availability and vulnerability are the foundation of any meaningful connection. If a woman genuinely cares about you, she'll show a willingness to share her inner world, support you emotionally, and work through challenges together. If she's playing you, these elements will be missing or half-hearted, leaving you with a relationship that feels one-sided and unfulfilling. It's often said that actions speak louder than words, and nowhere is this truer than in relationships. A woman who truly cares about you will back up her words with consistent actions. Her behavior will demonstrate her feelings in tangible ways, making it clear that she values your presence in her life. On the other hand, someone who's just playing you might say all the right things, but fail to follow through, leaving you questioning her intentions. One of the clearest signs that a woman genuinely cares about you is her effort to prioritize you in her life. This doesn't mean she'll drop everything for you, but she'll make a conscious effort to carve out time for you despite her busy schedule. Whether it's finding moments to check in during her day, planning dates, or even just sending a thoughtful text to show she's thinking of you, her actions will reflect her interest and commitment. When someone values you, they'll make time for you, not excuses. In contrast, if she's just playing you, you might notice a pattern of inconsistency in her efforts. She might cancel plans last minute, forget important details about your life, or only reach out when it's convenient for her. This behavior signals that you're not a priority to her, and she may only be keeping you around for attention, validation, or personal gain. If you're always the one initiating contact or making plans, it's worth asking yourself if she's truly invested in the relationship. Another way a caring woman shows her feelings is through small, thoughtful gestures. These gestures don't have to be extravagant. They're often simple acts of kindness that reflect her awareness of your needs and preferences. For instance, she might remember your favorite coffee order and surprise you with it, help you out when you're feeling overwhelmed, or go out of her way to make your day a little better. These actions show that she's attentive and genuinely wants to contribute to your happiness. However, someone who's playing you might lack this level of thoughtfulness. Her actions may feel transactional, as if she's only doing things to get something in return. For example, she might only show affection when she wants a favor or give you attention when it benefits her. If her gestures feel calculated rather than sincere, it's a sign that her intentions may not be as genuine as they appear. Pay attention to how she reacts when you need support, whether it's emotional, physical, or practical. A woman who cares about you will step up in times of need, offering help without hesitation. She'll want to be there for you, not because she feels obligated, but because she genuinely wants to make your life easier. For example, if you're going through a tough time, she'll check in on you, listen without judgment, and provide comfort in whatever way she can. Her presence during challenging moments speaks volumes about her feelings. On the other hand, if she's playing you, she might distance herself when things get tough. She could avoid serious conversations, dismiss your struggles, or make excuses for not being there. This kind of behavior suggests a lack of emotional investment and highlights that her involvement in your life is conditional. True care is about being there through thick and thin, not just when it's easy or convenient. Another key sign of genuine care is her consistency. A woman who truly cares about you won't leave you guessing. Her behavior will be steady and reliable, giving you a sense of security in the relationship. She'll communicate openly, follow through on her promises, and make an effort to resolve misunderstandings. This consistency builds trust and shows that she values the relationship enough to maintain it. In contrast, someone who's playing you might be inconsistent and unpredictable. She might shower you with attention one day and completely ignore you the next. This kind of behavior can leave you feeling anxious and unsure of where you stand, which is often a tactic used to keep you hooked without fully committing. Genuine care doesn't involve mind games or manipulation. It's rooted in respect and honesty. Lastly, look for signs of reciprocity in the relationship. A woman who cares about you will invest just as much as you do, if not more. She'll contribute to the relationship in meaningful ways, whether it's through emotional support, time, or effort. She'll recognize and appreciate what you bring to the table and will make an effort to match your energy. This balance is essential for a healthy and fulfilling relationship. If she's playing you, the dynamic might feel one-sided. You might find yourself doing all the work to maintain the connection while she puts in minimal effort. This lack of reciprocity can be draining and indicates that she may not value the relationship as much as you do. A strong relationship is built on mutual effort, and if that's missing, it's a clear sign that something is off. By observing her actions closely, you can gain a clearer picture of her true intentions. A woman who genuinely cares will make an effort to show it through her behavior, not just her words. If her actions align with her promises and reflect consistent care and effort, you can trust that her feelings are real. The ultimate sign of whether a woman genuinely cares about you or is simply playing you lies in her emotional availability. This goes beyond surface-level gestures or fleeting moments of affection. Emotional availability is about her willingness to let you into her inner world, to share her thoughts and feelings with you, and to support you when you do the same. It's the cornerstone of any meaningful connection, and without it, any relationship is bound to feel shallow or transactional. A woman who truly cares will be emotionally present in your interactions. She'll listen to you intently, offering her full attention without distractions. When you speak, she won't just hear your words. She'll try to understand the emotions behind them. This kind of connection creates a safe space where you feel valued, respected, and comfortable being your authentic self. She won't shy away from difficult conversations, and instead, she'll actively engage in resolving conflicts or addressing misunderstandings. Her emotional investment is a clear indication that she sees you as someone worth building a deeper connection with. On the flip side, if she's playing you, her emotional unavailability will become evident over time. She may appear detached or dismissive when you try to open up about your feelings, brushing off serious topics, or changing the subject to avoid vulnerability. Her conversations with you might lack depth, staying confined to surface-level topics or things that only serve her interests. This lack of emotional presence can leave you feeling unseen and unimportant, no matter how much effort you put into connecting with her. Pay attention to how she responds when you share your struggles or insecurities. A caring woman will offer support and reassurance, showing empathy for your experiences. She won't judge you or make you feel weak for being vulnerable. Instead, she'll appreciate your honesty and see it as a sign of trust. In contrast, Someone who's playing you might downplay your emotions or even use them against you later. If you notice her being dismissive or critical when you're trying to be open, it's a red flag that she's not truly invested in your well-being. Another aspect of emotional availability is her willingness to share her own vulnerabilities with you. A woman who genuinely cares will gradually let her guard down and allow you to see her authentic self. She won't try to maintain a perfect facade or keep you at arm's length. Instead, she'll trust you enough to share her fears, dreams, and past experiences, even the ones that are difficult to talk about. This level of openness demonstrates that she values your connection and sees you as someone she can depend on. If she's playing you, she may avoid revealing much about herself, keeping things on a need-to-know basis. Her reluctance to open up could indicate that she doesn't see the relationship as something serious or long-term. While it's normal for people to take time to trust, a complete lack of vulnerability over an extended period is often a sign that her intentions are not aligned with yours. Real relationships require mutual openness and the courage to let someone in, even when it feels risky. A caring woman will also be emotionally consistent. Her feelings towards you won't fluctuate wildly from one day to the next. You'll sense a steady sense of warmth and affection, even when things aren't perfect. This consistency provides emotional security, allowing the relationship to grow in a stable and healthy way. On the other hand, someone who's just playing you might be hot and cold, showing affection one moment and withdrawing the next. This kind of emotional inconsistency can be confusing and emotionally exhausting, making it difficult to trust her intentions. Another key indicator of emotional availability is how she reacts to your growth and success. A woman who cares about you will celebrate your wins and encourage you to reach your full potential. She'll be genuinely happy for your achievements, even if they don't directly benefit her. This kind of support reflects a selfless investment in your happiness and growth. If she's playing you, her reactions might feel lukewarm or even envious. She may downplay your successes or shift the focus back to herself, indicating that her interest in you is more self-serving than genuine. Ultimately, emotional availability is about showing up for each other, even when it's not convenient or easy. A woman who cares will make an effort to understand you, support you, and be there for you, even during tough times. She'll value the emotional connection you share and work to strengthen it through honesty, empathy, and consistency. If you feel seen, heard, and valued in her presence, it's a sign that her feelings are genuine. On the other hand, if you consistently feel like you're chasing after her attention or struggling to connect on a deeper level, it's worth reevaluating the relationship. Emotional availability cannot be forced, and if she's not willing to meet you halfway, it's a clear sign that her level of care might not match your own. By paying attention to her emotional availability, you can gain valuable insights into her true feelings and intentions. It's not just about what she says or does, it's about how she makes you feel in your heart and mind. If her presence in your life brings clarity, security, and a sense of genuine connection, you can trust that her care for you is real. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more strategies to elevate your relationships and personal growth. And if you're ready to dive even deeper, check out the next video.